Are you constantly on edge, feeling like you're barely keeping it together? What if your version of normal might actually be a state of chronic nervous system dysregulation? Today, we're diving deep into 6 seemingly innocent habits that could be screaming fight or flight without you even realizing it. 1. The safety net syndrome. Let's kick things off with something that might hit close to home. Do you have that one item you just can't leave the house without? Maybe it's your trusty water bottle, your noise-canceling headphones, or even a small trinket tucked away in your pocket. For women, this can also manifest as not being able to leave the home without elaborate makeup on. Now, there's nothing inherently wrong with having a favorite item, but if forgetting this object sends you into a spiral of unease or anxiety, we might be looking at more than just a habit. This behavior, which I call the safety net syndrome, is often a subconscious attempt to create a sense of security in an unpredictable world. It's your nervous system's way of saying, hey, as long as we have this, we're safe. But true safety doesn't come from external objects. It comes from within. 2. The control conundrum. Moving on to our second sign, the need for control. Does the thought of spontaneity make you break out in a cold sweat? Do you find yourself meticulously planning every detail of an upcoming event, running through all possible scenarios in your head? This isn't just being prepared or responsible. It's your nervous system desperately trying to create a sense of predictability in a world that often feels chaotic and unsafe. The irony? This constant state of hypervigilance is exhausting. It's keeping you locked in a state of fight or flight, even when there's no immediate threat. 3. The emotional fortress. Are you the person everyone describes as calm or collected? Do you pride yourself on keeping your cool no matter what life throws at you? While emotional stability is generally positive, there's a fine line between being composed and being completely walled off. If you find it challenging to express your feelings or ask for what you need, you might be dealing with what I call the emotional fortress. At some point, your nervous system decided that showing emotions was dangerous. But now, that very protection is keeping you isolated and preventing genuine connections. 4. The emotional floodgates. Now let's flip the script and talk about the opposite of emotional guardedness. Are you someone who's often described as an open book or wearing your heart on your sleeve? Do you find yourself sharing deeply personal information with people you've just met? While authenticity and openness are generally positive traits, there's a fine line between being genuine and having no emotional boundaries. If you frequently overshare, experience intense emotional swings, or struggle to maintain personal boundaries, you might be dealing with what I call the emotional floodgates. This flood of emotions often stems from a nervous system that's stuck in a heightened state of arousal. At some point, your system may have learned that big, loud emotions were the only way to get your needs met or to feel seen and heard. The challenge is, while this openness might seem like the path to connection, it can actually push people away or attract those who might take advantage of your vulnerability. It's exhausting for you and can be overwhelming for others, ultimately preventing the formation of stable, healthy relationships. 5. The validation vortex. Let's shine a light on our 4th sign, the constant need for validation. Do you find yourself second-guessing every decision, no matter how small? Are you always seeking reassurance from others, even when you know you're capable of making choices on your own? This isn't just a lack of confidence. It's your nervous system stuck in a loop of uncertainty, constantly scanning for threats and seeking external confirmation of safety. The tricky part? This habit can become self-reinforcing. The more you seek validation, the less you trust your own judgment, creating a vortex that's hard to escape. 6. The worry paradox. And finally, we come to what I call the worry paradox. It's that strange moment when you realize you're not worrying and immediately start worrying about why you're not worrying. If this sounds familiar, your nervous system has likely been in a state of high alert for so long that it feels more normal than actually being calm. The absence of worry becomes unsettling because your brain has been conditioned to equate vigilance with safety. Now that we've identified these signs, you might be wondering, what can I do about it? Don't worry, I've got you covered. Let's explore some uniquely creative solutions to help regulate your nervous system and break free from these patterns. 1. Reimagining your safety net. Instead of relying on external objects for comfort, try creating an internal safety kit. This could be a set of grounding techniques, breathing exercises, or positive affirmations that you can access anytime, anywhere. Practice using these internal tools regularly, especially when you're feeling calm. This way, you're building neural pathways that associate safety with your own internal resources, not external objects. 2. Embracing structured spontaneity. To address the control conundrum, introduce what I call structured spontaneity into your life. Set aside specific times for unplanned activities, but within a broader structure. For example, every Saturday afternoon could be your spontaneity window. During this time, commit to doing something unplanned, even if it's as simple as taking a different route on your walk or trying a new recipe. This approach allows you to gradually expand your comfort zone while still maintaining a sense of overall structure and predictability. 3. Emotional archaeology. To dismantle your emotional fortress, engage in what I call emotional archaeology. Set aside time each day to dig into your feelings, treating them like valuable artifacts to be examined and understood. Start a journal where you excavate one emotion each day. Describe it in detail, its texture, color, where you feel it in your body. This practice helps you become more familiar and comfortable with your emotional landscape. 4. Calibrating your emotional thermostat. To address the challenge of overflowing emotions, let's work on calibrating your emotional thermostat. The goal is to find a middle ground between completely shut off and constantly overflowing. Start by creating an emotional scale from 1 to 5, where 1 is completely closed off and 5 is emotionally flooded. Each day, check in with yourself and rate where you are on this scale. The sweet spot is usually around 3. If you find yourself consistently at the higher end, practice what I call the emotional sieve. Before expressing a feeling or sharing information, imagine it passing through a sieve. Ask yourself, is this appropriate for the current relationship and situation? How much detail is necessary? What's my intention in sharing this? Additionally, establish a feelings journal as a safe space to express your emotions fully. This can serve as a release valve, allowing you to process your feelings without immediately externalizing them. 4. The validation scavenger hunt. To break free from the validation vortex, embark on a validation scavenger hunt. But here's the twist. You're hunting for self-validation, not external approval. Each day, set out to find 3 pieces of evidence that support your ability to make good decisions. These can be big or small, from choosing a healthy lunch to handling a work challenge effectively. Document these self-validations and review them regularly. Over time, you'll build a robust collection of proof that you can trust your own judgment. 5. Reframing the worry paradox. To address the worry paradox, we need to reframe your relationship with calm. Start by creating a calm journal. Whenever you notice yourself feeling peaceful, jot it down. But here's the creative part. Instead of just noting the feeling, engage your senses fully. What does calm smell like to you? If it had a texture, what would it be? If it were a landscape, what would you see? This practice not only helps you recognize and appreciate moments of calm, but also starts to build positive associations with these states, making them feel more familiar and safe over time. As you work on these techniques, you'll likely notice changes that extend far beyond the initial habits we discussed. You might find yourself more present in your relationships, able to connect on a deeper level, more creative and innovative in your work, as your brain isn't constantly scanning for threats, physically healthier, as chronic stress takes a toll on our bodies, more resilient in the face of life's challenges, able to bounce back quicker from setbacks. Remember, this journey isn't about achieving a state of constant bliss. It's about developing a more flexible, resilient nervous system that can adapt to life's ups and downs without getting stuck in fight or flight mode. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Did any of these signs resonate with your experience? What techniques have you found helpful in regulating your nervous system? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your insights might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more content on mental health trauma recovery, and personal growth. And remember, sharing is caring. If you know someone who might benefit from this information, pass it along. Together, we can create a community of understanding and support, one regulated nervous system at a time. Until next time, take care and be kind to yourself.